episode 55 of The Beardcaster. My name is Scott Sykora, and I am The Beardcaster. Welcome to a podcast all about beards and mustaches, beard culture, and all the fun stuff that goes along with it. Hear the stories from the people and learn the tricks of the trade on how to grow and maintain your style with advice taken from our personal experiences. It's all about the facial hair lifestyle we live and our daily lives in the world around us and how we deal with life. So please join me as I share the stories about these people and hear how they're using their facial hair to do great and fun things. Welcome again to the Beardcaster podcast. My name is Scott Sykora. Today's episode really has nothing to do with beards, but it has everything to do with things that all us bearded guys love. Star Wars. And if anyone hasn't noticed yet, there's a new Star Wars movie out called The Last Jedi, and Bald-Faced Josh and I went and saw this movie the other night, so we had lots of fun things to talk about. So we thought we would ask one of our old friends, Nikki, and she's a part of the 501st out of Arizona, so we thought we're always talking about Star Wars stuff with her all the time, so we figured, hey, let's get Nikki on, let's do the three of us, and let's talk about how we felt about the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. And I know I'm going to come off as being a real jerk. Either you're going to really hate me at the end of this, or you might agree with me. But I was not a huge fan of the movie, but they liked it. I mean, I did like it. It was a good movie, but there was a lot of things that I had a hard time with. So we discussed the good things and the bad things, and I hope you enjoy. So if you want any more information about myself, you can go to thebeardcaster.com. You can subscribe via Apple Podcast app. You can subscribe Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and I am now on Spotify. So there's all these different ways you can subscribe to the podcast. You can also get a hold of me through my social media, Facebook. It's all on thebeardcaster.com. Or you can just email me at scott@thebeardcaster.com. So let's just dive right into this. It was a lot of fun talking to these guys. But I hope you enjoy, and I will see you on the backside, and action. Okay, we're here with our friend Nikki. Now say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Now, Nikki is part of the 501st out of where?
Phoenix, Arizona, the Dune Sea Garrison.
The Dune Sea Garrison out of Arizona. So she's a pretty big Star Wars fan, pretty big expert on the Star Wars, as also as Joshua, or Bald-Faced Josh, as we call him, and myself. We're all humongous Star Wars fans.
And little background, we've known Nikki for a long time. I've known Nikki since
she was 3 apples high.
No, I've known Nikki. Let's see, how old are we? I'm 43. You're about to be 43. I've known Nikki for 36, 37 years.
Yep.
That's craziness.
Does that?
No.
But the funny part is we haven't seen each other in 20 some years.
But we're best friends via.
Yeah, thankfully the internet has brought us.
The interwebs.
The three of us has brought us together. So.
Yay!
So
interwebs.
tell us a little bit about your 501st adventures in Arizona. Give us a little lowdown about what you do.
Oh, the 501st Legion is a worldwide Star Wars costuming organization, and we like to run around and support kiddos' charities, raise money for different things, autism, childhood cancer awareness, anything that will benefit the community, we try to help out with.
Kind of like the bearding community.
Yeah, kind of like the bearded community.
See what I did there?
Yeah, you did there. You tied it all together. We got some
That
weird.
was very cool, Josh.
Yeah, sometimes he is pretty smart.
I don't think so good sometimes.
So the reason why we have Nikki with us tonight, and hopefully you don't mind us calling you Nikki, because now we know you go by Nicole because you're like a married and old lady, but you're still our Nikki.
Nope, you'll always be Nikki to me.
So is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sure, it's fine, she says.
Nikki, did you happen to prepare your list or no?
No, unlike you fools, I work today.
No, yeah, I actually did work, but I'm at the end of a semester.
And I actually did work too today.
But you don't have time to make a list?
I actually did. I'm at the end of a semester, so my kids are relatively independent, prepping for finals and finishing projects and stuff.
I have 2 pages. Listen.
Yeah, but yours are big. Mine are 12 font. I actually have a love and a hate list.
Mine are big.
That's what she said. I mean, I have a love and hate. Scott only has a hate list. I mean, do you have an idea of things you enjoyed from the movie? Because we could start there and then dwell the rest of it, or dwell on the hate second.
Let's go through your list and we'll just use that.
You can add.
I'm
okay,
prepared with I didn't write things down or.
Okay. Let's do this. I will start with my love list.
But time out, though. We need to explain exactly what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, you do that.
Okay, so last night, of course, was the premiere of the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. And Joshua, Bald-Faced Josh, and I, and the families went to go see the movie last night together. We went to the 8 o'clock showing, East Coast time. And then Nikki and her family went Arizona time, which is at Mountain.
2 hours behind us.
Yeah, so they went and saw it as well last night. So first thing this morning, our phones were all exploding between the 3 of us discussing the movie. And of course, I was absolutely, and I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off by saying this, but I was absolutely disgusted by the movie. And I know the both of you guys have different feelings than I, but so I'm like, we need to do a podcast about this. And Nikki was like, all like soup. She's like, we got to talk about this tonight. We got to talk about it. So
it's fresh on our minds and we're good to go.
So we decided to make lists. Of course, my list is 15 things I did not like about the movie.
I have 12 things I didn't like about the movie.
But you also have things you did like about it.
I have 10 things that I really loved about the movie too.
I have one thing that I did not like about the movie.
And I think your number one, actually based on our text messages before, is my number one.
And I believe it's my number one as well.
But let's hold off. Let me do the love. Let's talk about the good first, and then we can round it up.
Because it's all about positive re-encouragement. Or
re-encouragement? How about positive reinforcement?
Reinforce.
Which is actually not even true. And anyway, okay, all right. So here's my list of 10 things that I loved about the movie. You guys can agree, disagree, and we'll go one by one. But we'll go. Relatively quick.
Go.
All right, number one.
And action.
The scenes where Rey and
false. You're
hold
going
on, stop. No, hold on, stop. The scenes where Rey and Kylo were communicating with one another, I thought were fantastic.
Agreed.
And here's why. Because and this goes to one of the things that eventually I'm going to talk about with a hate. But one of the things that I liked about it is there's no fucking way you believe that Kylo and Rey are anything but twins. They're brother and sister. Okay, and the connection that you're going to make is that Luke and Leia were communicating the same exact way, and that added depth to that story that I absolutely loved.
Nikki, go.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, I disagree because why all of a sudden does everyone able to force project to each other? This is something that's never been done for how many years the Jedi have been around, and then all of a sudden these unexperienced Jedi or Sith all of a sudden can just like force project themselves to each other.
I'm gonna throw this out.
We're not talking about force projection. We're talking about the way that Snoke bridged their communications, their mind.
But was it Snoke? Because did he do it?
See, I didn't even think about that. That's a good call.
He did that
because Snoke actually did say that he was trying to manipulate the situation. So Snoke could have actually been.
But did not Leia and Luke also have that connection in Return of the Jedi?
Yes, not as strong though. But yeah.
And the idea is that actually Ben and Rey are infinitely more powerful than even Luke and Leia.
New grounds, exactly.
Yeah, that's actually yeah. So anyway, that was my number one. My number two, it's a one word thing, and it's the only thing remotely introduced new character wise that second thing that I loved.
And this is good.
This is a good thing. I porgs. I thought they were fucking great.
Boy.
I get it. I know, but
if you were closer, I'd stab you in the eye.
I thought the porgs were the only one of only two things that I enjoyed that they introduced in the movie new that they introduced. Like we'll get to hate in a second, but most of the new characters I fucking hated, but I thought the Porgs were cute as shit. And I thought they were good.
Nikki, your thought?
I wanted to taste the one that Chewie had.
I did too.
So
Actually,
it
that
looked
crossed my
really
mind.
good.
It did. I was
like
wondering.
A rotisserie porg.
The rotisserie pork did look tasty.
I feel like the porgs, and Chewie eating the porgs are a little bit of Stormtrooper retribution from the Ewok.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe that was a shout out to the okay, we're not going to make these Ewoks type thing.
Speaking of shout outs, did anyone catch the first shout out in the movie? One of it was in like the first 5 to 10 minutes when the attack started.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my Lord, what was that?
That wasn't that was not Nico.
No, it was not. He's sleeping.
Those are my pterodactyls.
Oh.
You have pterodactyls? That's actually really funny.
I know, that is a real good tie-in there.
I just had dominoes not that long ago. All right.
No, the first throwback like moment in the new movie that goes back to A New Hope. Did anyone catch it?
You'll have to say it. I don't know if Nikki caught it.
The Porkins throwback?
No.
Did you miss that too?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there was an X-wing fighter that was going in and like
almost there.
He was a larger fella and he repeated the same line as Porkins said as he's exploding. It was like a real cut, like a real fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
It was a real fast scene, and it was like it was a callback to Porkins.
Was he the one that was engulfed with the explosion from behind?
He was
from behind.
No, he was an X-wing fighter. He was going in when they were coming in to protect the bombers.
Yeah, I was trying to think of which one that was.
They never showed him other than that one split second
did he
scene.
blow up?
Yeah, he did. It was like he was flying and he said the same exact thing Porkins said as the sparks came over his shoulder and he blows up.
All right, number 3, because we're going to try to move through the love things first. I actually really dug the Luke and Kylo scene. I think it was a little brief, but when Luke did the kind of Matrix thing and that whole thing, I liked the
blue pill.
No, I liked the fact that they made him a hologram. I loved how they tied all that shit together. Basically, I liked the Skywalker story and the tension between Kylo and Luke. That fight scene was too brief, which kind of pissed me off. I think they could have milked that for a little more. But I did
blue milked it.
Yes, but I do appreciate the Luke versus Kylo confrontation and the whole scene, like with all they're blowing the shit out of him and all that stuff. And you're
the
like, how
Jedi Temple?
No. Yeah, well, he's at the Jedi Temple, but I like they're kicking the crap out of him. Like, oh my God, how's he living?
Oh, you're talking the very end.
The very end, yeah. And then they bring it together that he's basically projecting,
he's
and you're like,
projecting.
oh my God, this is fantastic, and was done really well.
Well, it bothered me that his beard was no longer gray,
but he did that on purpose. He was manifesting as a younger version of himself. He wasn't manifesting as himself. He was manifesting a younger version of himself.
Oh, so vanity is part of a Jedi's trait.
Well, it's not supposed to be, but he was also projecting what Kylo Ren would have seen because Kylo Ren knew him as younger.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Do you think that is how Luke sees himself, maybe?
Well, it's like I eternally feel like I'm 25 years old, but yet I'm in a 43-year-old body.
I felt that it was the way Kylo saw him.
That's an interesting thought.
I mean, I don't know. That's just...
But time out. If you go back a few minutes into that, it's when he walks into the base and he presents himself to Leia, he's that same younger Luke.
True.
That would have been the same time.
Yeah, it's a great call. I didn't even think about that.
That's what I thought was weird. That was what I thought was weird. I'm like, why would he get a haircut and color his beard dark, or if he was going to attack Kylo Ren in the First Order? That was the thing that set me off.
May have been the way that he wanted to project himself. Yeah, that's a good call. He may have wanted to be remembered not as the old haggard Luke, but
I thought the haggard Luke looked better. Sorry, Nicole.
Oh, I did not.
My thought was that he wanted to look nice for people that he hadn't seen in a really long time.
Well, that's a typical woman thought right there.
No, but I think that would be accurate. I mean, he doesn't want to be the shitty old looking Luke.
haggard and like one of those apples that you carve.
The apples?
The cart?
No, carve like they have at the Maple Festival.
Yeah.
Carving
So-
apples? What,
Yeah, that's what he looked like.
Oh, yeah, he did look like shit.
You haven't been to the Maple Festival in a while. They don't carve apples anymore.
They have beard
Ooh, well.
competitions. All right, number 4. Moving on, number 4, since I'm the only one that has a love list. I appreciate that Rey is still a badass. I love that.
Nikki, go. You're going to be always, Nikki, you're always going to be second after Josh.
Okay. I also loved that Rey was a badass. I liked her humor. I was just talking with Olive and Opal about when he had her sitting on the rock. He was tickling her hand.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that innocence and purity about her, but she's also a badass.
She's a badass, and you know, Juliana being 9, I enjoy that she's experiencing the Star Wars movies through a female stud, through a female hero. That's true. I mean, she's seeing this as a heroine, and it's very empowering as a father to watch your daughter like just be enamored.
That's great. I agree with you.
And I love it because and the scene where she was raising the boulders and getting the
My Lord, what are you doing, Nicole?
Nothing. I'm not touching my computer. I'm about to
Vomit?
I have to close my screen because I don't like looking at myself.
oh okay.
talk.
But yeah, I mean, as having a daughter and have her grow up seeing the Star Wars universe through the eyes of a heroine is pretty freaking amazing.
I'll tell you what, though. The child's not a fan of Rey.
Oh, I know.
He's expressed that to Josh, even after the first movie.
Oh, Juliana thinks it's hilarious. She's like, yeah, Lucas will probably hate it because Rey's a badass. But anyway, that scene where where the Resistance is trying to escape and they walk
Resistance.
they les Resistance. They and they come out and Rey just has all the rocks flying. You're like, this woman, dude, she's
It was all
fucking
CGI,
amazing.
dude. It was all CGI.
Wait, those weren't real
She didn't
boulders
really-
floating?
No, they weren't. Not in real life.
Yeah, okay.
Women can't do that in real life, Josh.
Because they have periods. Bears smell periods.
And blue.
All right. Well, anyway, I think number 5, I have them. I like the fact that they're building Poe as a future Han Solo type character. That's the way I see him.
Oh.
I see them like kind of a renegade, whatever. I like that they are building, but it's so fucking slow, which is actually on my hate list, which I'll get to in a second. Nikki?
I agree with you. I hadn't thought about that, but you're exactly right. I liked Poe's character before, but I like that he's more developed and he's more dynamic in this movie.
And he's got some arrogance.
Well, he's got conflict in this movie, too.
He does.
He's
I did not like the scene where he was like X-Wing fighter to a huge fucking destroyer and being a smartass, which I'll get to that in a second. I thought that was stupid.
good. It made me think of the Lego Star Wars game.
Exactly.
All right, next
All right.
like.
Number 6. I don't know if you guys are going to go with this or not, but when I saw this, I'm like, yeah, I could get behind this. I thought Benicio del Toro's character was fucking amazing. I loved it.
He was, yeah. I don't
actually,
know why would they trust a man they don't know sitting in a jail?
he was obviously a dirtbag. I actually have in parentheses, one of my highlights from the movie was Del Toro's character. I actually thought it was a good character. I like the double cross, and you're going to see him again in the next movie.
Yep.
You just know. And he's going to actually turn out to be, again, Han Solo type reference. He's going to end up helping the rebels, the Resistance.
Or the First Order.
No, he
Or
won't.
both.
No, he won't.
He just
He'll come
did.
back. No.
Oh, he's going to have retribution.
But here we go. The Han Solo reference. Oh, it's all about the money. Well, what do you want me to do? Hey, and the message that he sends to Finn. Hey, look, man, this is the machine. You don't get involved in it. Don't get involved in good or evil. Get involved in the machine. Don't get involved in the machine.
You notice how I haven't had anything to interject with feeling good about anything you guys have said yet?
You don't like any of the things I've talked about?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
What's talking about positives right now, Scott.
What was that?
We're talking about positives right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. And he doesn't agree with
I'm not
these.
agreeing with anything so far.
All right, well. Number 7, I have Yoda is back. I like the Yoda scene. I thought it was a nice twist to bring Yoda back.
Nice twist. That's like a twist of lemon or lime in your drink.
No. I thought that what Yoda had to say basically was screw the books. The books have nothing, and then kind of hitting Luke on the head and going back to that
On
the
the
old
dupa.
message. No, on the head.
Oh.
And being like, always looking forward. That whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not living in the moment, and that was something that Luke always had a problem with. And there was a parallel in that scene too. Luke's thinking about that, and meanwhile Rey is packing up to go when her training isn't complete to go and potentially face Kylo Ren. So I don't know, Nikki. Did you like Yoda or not like Yoda?
I did like Yoda. I got a kick out of him, and I have to go back to, I feel like this movie is the start of a different type of Force. Maybe the Force is an ebb and a flow, and it changes with time, and maybe even with people. When Anakin was Anakin, there wasn't anyone as strong as him, and look at what he did.
Right.
Now we have Rey, who is the strongest that there's been, but she's on the light side.
Right.
So I see a lot of really interesting potential paths that they could take with these new ideas.
But
And I feel like the movie was kind of introducing people to the different possibilities that there could be with the Force. And then, who knows if it changes over time, to your point, talking about Yoda in the books.
What
Maybe
bothers me about that though is I hope they don't go down a scene down this thing where they're like, oh well, anybody can be a Jedi. Because if they do that, I'm going to be pissed.
yeah, but Rey took the books.
No. Oh, do you think Rey took the books?
When at the end of the movie, they were opening the drawer in the Millennium Falcon, and all the books were filed in one of the drawers.
I missed that.
Yep, all the books were in the drawers. When Finn opened a drawer to get something out of it, all the books were in there.
Oh, I totally missed that. Did you catch that, Nikki?
I didn't.
Yeah, no, Rey took all the books.
Oh.
So maybe hence why Yoda felt it was okay to burn.
Maybe.
And yeah.
Wow, that could be good. That
but
could be good curveball for down the road.
But I could
We have to go see it again, guys.
No, I think we're going to go see it tomorrow.
I actually have my Amazon.
Josh likes to watch it illegally.
Yes, I actually have it illegally. I have a unlocked Fire Stick, and it's on there. So I started watching. I got about halfway through watching it a second time today.
Okay,
actually.
next like.
I like the R2-D2 and Luke scene, like where they had that interaction, and Luke calls him his old friend, and then he's like, I just can't. I'm not. There's nothing you can say, and then he plays the Leia. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm
So
like, damn, that's
appropriate.
good.
So
I thought it was
appropriate.
good. I thought it was good though.
I love that.
I thought it was too. Number 9, Scott's gonna call me gay on this one. I think BB-8 is one of the best droids they've introduced in the movies.
I'm going to interject right here. My number one thing about the thing I liked about the movie is I thought BB-8 was the biggest badass in this movie.
I loved BB-8.
Like he was like, in my opinion, BB-8 stole the whole movie for the characters. My opinion.
But remember in the original trilogy, they did R2-D2 was always kind of on the outside, but like really making shit happen, and there was like this underlying cool story where R2 was continuously doing shit right when they needed it, and BB-8 like in the opening scene of the movie, like where he like puts his head in the
to get the X-wing fighter going.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I loved BB-8.
I loved BB-8 too. I don't think he carried the movie, but I like that he has so much more personality than R2-D2 does in the movies. And I love R2-D2, but BB-8 is more.
He's like a millennial droid.
I would actually probably pay to watch C-3PO fucking blown up. I'm so done with C-3PO.
Okay, well, that's on my dislike list.
All right, well, whatever. And my last one, which actually is my number one, the thing I absolutely loved is when Kylo and Rey were fighting side by side. It was so fucking awesome. That scene where like Rey is sitting there and she drops the lightsaber and then kills the dude and then sends it over to Kylo Ren and he kills the guy through the helmet. Yeah. That to me was one of the top probably 4 or 5 scenes in Star Wars of all time. I mean, that scene to me parallels, and although the movie got motherfucked, parallels that the Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul and Obi-Wan scene from Phantom Menace. That was one of the fucking greatest scenes when the three of them are fighting. And this is up there. And obviously there's plenty of scenes in the trilogy as well, but that Kylo Ren and Rey scene where they just met side by side, they just started kicking ass. That was a great fucking scene.
They weren't taking names either, because they didn't stop and go, "Excuse me, sir, what's your name?"
Yeah.
Agreed.
My name is what? My name is what? So, I don't know. Nikki, what did you love about the movie? Anything to add?
Gosh. What's her name? Laura Dern. I was really apprehensive when I saw her big foot face, but she turned out okay. I liked her character.
Was that the chick with the purple hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did not run real fast either, Josh. Or pick her navel.
Pick her navel. You know what? She ended up okay. I did not like her character.
I liked it particularly when she met up with Leia. I thought she was stupid before that.
Jeez, that's very harsh.
No, I agree with that 100%. I hated her, and that was 90% of it was her just being fucking asshole. And then all of a sudden you have that 10% she meets up with Leia and you're like, oh, she's pretty fucking cool. Like, yeah. I'll give you that 10%, 20% I did like of her, but that other 80% was rough.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Her dress was pretty.
Her hair was purple.
Her dress was pretty.
Navel. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good character. There was no background to it. You know, that was kind of frustrating. It was kind of like,
yeah, because you want to trust this one person that's going to lead the fleet, but yet you know nothing about them.
Yeah, and Poe, is like enamored, like, oh my god, that's so and so. I don't even know fucking this person is, and here she is playing this big hero role. But
guys,
I mean, it's just me.
Oh my gosh, now what's going on? It sounds like R2D2 is like infiltrating your house.
I'm not moving. There's nothing happening. I'm not even touching my computer.
That's what she said.
Okay,
so now are we on to dislikes yet? I'm rubbing my hands.
I'm done. I am.
Well, wait, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt Nikki because she just gave one thing she liked. Give us some more. Give us some sugar.
Okay. Some sugar. Oh my gosh. I liked the way
you work it, yo diggity. Oh, no, sorry.
When the trailer came out, everyone was under the assumption that she was taking Kylo Ren's hand. Show me my place. And I thought either, that's just fake and something else in the movie, whatever. But I was thinking about how they could bridge the two of them together that way so that they would be on some kind of a common ground. And I like the way, and I know it was Snoke and he orchestrated the whole thing, but I like that dynamic.
Yeah. I thought but does anybody here, do either of you guys not believe that their brother, sister, that's not going to be the big thing?
Well, if Ben / Kylo says that he saw who her parents were, I mean, is he lying to her and saying
yes
to make her believe that she's not important?
He's trying to put her down. He's trying to put her in her place.
But why would not have Leia said something to Rey?
But Leia's connection with Rey has always been tight, and even Han Solo in Force Awakens.
Yeah, well, yeah, three of them.
They've all had connection to Rey. I don't know. Where do you stand on this, Nikki? Where do you think they're going?
I feel like they're brother and sister too, but I can't connect it. I can't make sense of that. Maybe cousins?
No, I think they're brother sister. I think they're twins, and I think they were separated at birth. Similar, like the MO of that of the trilogy has been a lot of repeat type stuff. Separated at birth to keep them away from each other. I think you may find out that, Luke was going to train Ben, and that Rey, like there was a sense of darkness in Ben, and they wanted to keep Ben and Rey apart. Here's what makes the most amount of sense to me, that they're afraid that the two of them, could be a huge force or whatever, that the two of them could be connected by the twin thing and whatever, and they want to keep them separate so that they don't turn to the dark side and become too powerful, take over the galaxy, whatever. I don't, there's a lot going on there, but I do like the Kylo Ren and Rey relationship. I think that's very intriguing.
I agree.
I mean, here's my take on it. The Skywalker aspect of this movie was fantastic. The Luke and Leia thing, the Kylo Ren, and I still buy into what you had said. The Kylo Ren and Rey thing, I think was fascinating. The Luke, everything, all that stuff, I thought was really, really interesting. So that's not my beef. It's the other 11, 12 things I've got. All right, what else do you got? What else did you love? Porgs?
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
The porgs, I was kind of indifferent. I was afraid that they were going to be like the new Ewoks, so I was really happy that Sokka was eating that one.
I do have to tell you that Juliana for my birthday got me a Porg Funko, and it all comes back to the Funko.
Yeah,
what
bought
don't they
have a Funko for?
Her and I kind of bonded over Porgs ahead of time, so I just thought they were cute.
Do you want to see my muscles?
No, I don't want to see your muscles.
Okay.
All right, what else, Nikki?
What else did I like? I liked that people were dying. That sounds stupid, I know, but they'll drag the characters, and the characters are in all the movies. But look at Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
I thought that there was going to be more of her in this movie, but now she's dead.
Yeah, that's one of my top disappointments right there, because it's like, how the fuck do you kill Phasma off? Like, you had such a great character you could have done something with, and it's like, really?
But what makes her a great character?
Because they promoted her as a great character. That's basically
because
they promoted her as like everyone's bitch in that movie, because that's basically what happened.
Well, number one, she's got a really sweet outfit. I mean, not that makes her like badass, but I mean, she's different. And number two, it's a woman. I mean, there's...
I guess my point is all of the hype around Captain Phasma with regard to the movies, strictly the movies. I'm not talking about books or anything else.
Oh, I totally was, because I read all of them.
And Josh too, yeah. All of her hype was the fans speculating, having theories, thinking ideas. But if you look at it in the movie, think about back to what was it, The Force Awakens? She gave up the information.
Yeah, she was really a weak character.
Thank you. And so that's, I guess, more what I was asking. What makes her so awesome?
The silver outfit. That's it.
Okay. She should have lived just for that alone.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you for agreeing with me on that.
I don't know. I'm not a Captain Phasma fan. Nothing.
Well, you don't like anything.
Yeah, I just read you like 10 fucking things that I liked.
Though she gave them the Death Star plans after they asked her twice, and then she fell in a hole.
A fiery hole.
That's what happened.
That's pretty much it. But I mean, the one thing I will say to piggyback off that is they're down to what, like 10 or 12 people left in the Resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I mean, that's kind of a love-hate thing for me, because I do appreciate that people died and that they're showing that this great galactic empire is finally taking and seizing control. But then on the other part, there's part of me that I'll get to in when we get to the hate list that bothered me about that. But I mean, they are definitely showing the list of Resistance folk dwindling fast.
La Resistance.
La Resistance. All right.
Any more loves?
I had a lot of loves, but I can't think of them right now because I'm tired.
Okay.
God, and you're
they're 2 hours behind us. Yeah.
I'm so tired.
It's all of 7:30 there. All right. Well, let's move on to the hate list then.
Okay, can I go?
We have to indulge Scott on his hate list.
Well, because this was like, I was so disappointed in this movie, and literally the number one disappointment that I got from this movie. And
Wait, I'm going to have to get my pencil so I can cross some stuff probably off.
And I really hope, I know we brought this up as we were messaging each other today, and as we were watching the movie and this scene happened, my wife looked at me and she goes,
I'm crossing my number one off now.
She's like, I know this movie now sucks.
Yep.
All because of this one scene.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Leia floating in space. What a total Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff.
Wow. That was not even on my list.
Really?
No.
That, to me, that ruined the movie right there. It was like total Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff.
Marco even said she was channeling Yondu. She's freaking Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When you said that, I'm like, when she was like calling out for Yondu, I'm like, that's exactly it. And then I'm like, when did Leia like gain so much Force knowledge to learn how to use the Force to do shit like that?
I don't disagree with you. I just forgot to put it on my list. My number one, and I was crossing it off ahead of time. But I mean, you guys,
mom?
No, your mom, your aunt. I don't know. You guys want to keep talking about that ridiculousness?
Well, I'm sure anyone that saw the movie, when they saw that moment in the movie, I guarantee, like, I don't know how you could not feel that way. I mean, do you not agree with me, Nikki?
No, I agree with you 100%. I don't. To your point, how did she just all of a sudden gain her Force skills so sharply that she could fly through space? Just like that. Her whole life, she could just feel a couple things.
Yeah.
And now she can fly in space.
Yeah. I mean, no Jedi training, no nothing, but all of a sudden she can live through a massive fucking blow up and getting sucked into space. Let alone the fact that there's no goddamn oxygen.
Yeah.
She's going to go with it.
Her head did not implode.
Yeah,
Nothing.
she totally violated the laws of physics right there.
She really did.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing. If that would have been Rey, I'd have bought it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Well, my number one, which get your pencil ready, Scott, because this has to be on your list somewhere. The Iron. God damn it, that pissed me off.
No, it's not on my list, but when Nikki said it earlier today, I was like, shit, that's number 18.
God damn it, that pissed me off, because I'm like, wow, they're getting lazy. That fucking ship looks like an iron. And then like 30 seconds later, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
That's exactly what my wife said too. She's like, oh my God, that looks like an iron. That was absolutely fucking stupid.
That to me was the fucking
How do you
dumbest
think
thing.
they press all their stuff? It's all made out of wool.
I don't give a shit how they press their stuff.
That's not what we need to know.
I don't fucking care.
It is not relevant to the story.
We need to know how Leia flew through space. And no. I think more importantly, we need to know who okayed that. Who said that?
Yeah.
And the other person with the idea. Who are those guys?
Okay, well here.
That's what we need.
Okay, well then, spoiler alert, because this actually jumps down to my number 12. This is, and this kind of accumulates the two of those and a bunch of things that I have on here. This is when Disney bought Star Wars. This is exactly what I did not want. I didn't want a fucking weird crossover between Spaceballs and fucking Star Wars trilogy. And that whole iron scene and fucking Leia floating around. To me, like, I literally have on here number 12. It is so Disney that it pissed me off. This should have been done by J.J. Abrams in the exact format that they did with The Force Awakens, staying true to the original thing and not going for punchlines and all that shit. And although I like the Porgs, the remainder of those the new characters were fucking stupid. That's
it's
my
okay
opinion.
if you like porgs. Somebody has to.
I like Porgs.
I agree with you. I didn't realize it, but with the cinematography, I loved all the jokes because it was nice to laugh.
I hated 90% of the jokes.
You hate laughing.
No,
I love
but that's
to laugh.
my number 2. There's too much ridiculous comedy in this movie.
Oh my God, I'm on there somewhere here.
That's me crossing out number 2. Yeah,
I gotta
the
find the
thing is,
comedy
though,
thing.
is if you go back to the original Star Wars trilogy, the 4, 5, 6. Who is the only character in those movies that has a wit to him or makes any kind of cracking joke?
Han Solo.
Han Solo. That's it. Now, where all of a sudden did Princess Leia get to be about making jokes about her hair?
In the cockpit.
Yeah.
Stop thinking with your cockpit.
Yeah, and Luke all of a sudden making like he's a jokester now, and Yoda is a jokester now. Like, and all of a sudden Poe, Poe has always been a jokester.
Poe's been a smartass since the opening scene of Force Awakens.
But
do you talk? Do I?
Yeah.
How do we do this?
But yeah, and it started off exactly the same way. It's just like ridiculous, stupid humor. I mean, though it was funny, but it's not Star Wars.
Maybe because they're older. Just speaking about Leia and Luke and actually Poe too, I guess a little bit. They're older, and I'm telling you, as you get older, the fewer fucks you give. Like every year, more go away.
No, I there's not a lot of fucks I have left, actually.
See, and you're not as old as Leia and Luke, so maybe they are out.
They may be, but I don't know. I thought the stupid humor was way over the top. There was too many punchlines, too many times to try to be cutesy and all that bullshit.
But time out though. I mean, in that, like I said, I have that on my list.
Iron.
Did you
go ahead? Go back to the Iron.
Did you not laugh though?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
It was funny.
Yeah, but I don't want a funny. I like. You're right.
How many times did you laugh in Empire Strikes Back?
This was the second movie. It was supposed to be dark. It was not dark. There was a dark umbrella over top of it, but that's all there was. Because the resistance was slowly dwindling down. I get it. It's a dark tone to it, but with comedic, it's like you.
There's your Spaceballs right there.
Yeah, kind of. It's like you go to a funeral and walk in with jazz hands. It's that kind of thing. You're like, wow, this really sucks. They're dead. Woohoo! Jazz hands. I don't know. It's stupid.
I'm glad both of you said Spaceballs because I kept seeing that potential through the whole movie. But I did like the comedy. It made me happy.
But you have to admit the iron scene was over the top. That was just fucking stupid. And somebody okayed that. And that bothers me.
I thought it was funny. And I also think we need to know that guy's name who okayed that. I'll give him a high five. You could punch him in the face.
I would love to kick him square in the nutsack.
Who?
Whoever okayed that scene with the
iron.
All right,
but I think it has something to do with the fact that it ties into when Rose and Finn are stealing the uniforms and getting on that ship.
Ugh, don't even get me started on that shit.
Okay.
That's on my list. But okay. Scott, go ahead.
Number 3. Another one of my biggest wasted moments and scenes of the whole entire movie, and I know people are going to be like, "Oh my god, it was so great to finally find out." But the stupid blue milk animal that
was fucking weird.
Luke milks. Why?
I have an answer for that.
Go. Please tell us.
Okay. Personally, when I sit through movies like The Matrix, I'm watching. They're living underground. I'm like, where do they go to the bathroom? Where do they get their clothes? And not even paying attention to the movie, but I'm thinking, how do they live down there? So I think that even though it seemed unnecessary to the overall story, I think that it addressed how he survived on that island, showing his day to day, and it was insignificant to the story.
But it was just, what was that?
Just showed me something. I'm sending you guys both a test. It'll make you happy.
Is it a blue milk story?
No.
Was I the only one slightly? And here the beard thing comes full circle. Was I the only one slightly repulsed when Luke looked up and had blue milk around his beard and mustache?
I was grossed out too, but I think that milk was green.
It did look green, but I mean, we all know it was supposed to be blue.
No, I think it's green.
Well, on our screen, wait, did you go see it in a 3D and all that shit?
No, I don't like to watch 3D movies.
My God. Do you have glaucoma?
Man, you are getting old.
Wow.
I'm decrepit.
I do with my bifocals. Okay.
I have focal teeth.
All right, my number 2. And my number 2, you know what? I'm going to mix my number 2 and my number 3 together because they both deal with the same character.
Your mom?
Mm-hmm. Finn's getting really fucking stupid and annoying to me. Like, really fucking stupid. And that is my number 2. And my number 3 Are they really building up an interracial love triangle in this fucking thing?
Okay, that goes to my number 14, but
I mean, it's like I thought the Asian girl was fucking stupid to begin with. There's no character development. All of a sudden, they're going to thrust her on us as being like this major character. Like I said, Finn is fucking annoying as all hell. And I'm so sick of this. I'm going to escape shit. I'm going to run away stuff. You're supposed to be a hero in a movie. And all you've done for 2 movies is try to fucking run away. And then at the end, decide to man up and do something.
well, absolutely. And like I said,
I'm done with Finn. I'm fucking done with that character.
I am done with him too, and hence why at the end of the movie, he should have fucking died. Oh
my God, I was hoping he was going to die.
I was like so pissed when fucking Rose knocked him out. Like he needed to die.
He did.
That made me angry. Okay.
That made me angry too. Nikki?
I was looking. Can you see this?
Are you sending us something?
Well, no, can you see my face on the video?
No,
I can't.
Because I'm not looking at video.
Oh, okay. Repeat the question then.
We are talking about how fucking ridiculous the whole Rose and Finn thing is, and how I am so sick and tired of Finn. I fucking hate that character.
Yeah, and how pissed we were that Rose knocked him out of the way at the last second. Finn should have died.
Yeah, I was hoping to God that he just blew himself right into that battering ram.
I was waiting for it too, and I feel like there's something more with Finn. I like him, but I don't know why.
I don't like the character. And actually my number 5 is, and I just because you were doing something else, my number 2 is Finn is getting really fucking stupid and annoying. I don't understand the love triangle type thing, like the Asian girl and Finn, and like Ray looked slightly jealous when they came back.
I thought Ray was looking much better in this movie than she did in the first one.
No, and then my number 5 here actually, which has to do with Finn also. Why is he such a fucking wuss if he's supposed to be a hero? Why stop running away? Be like, man up and do something, and don't just show up every once in a while to be like, oh, okay, I'm here, I'm going to man up. You're not a fucking hero. You are a side note to this story, and it's irritating the hell out of me. I'm done. The Finn character I just don't like.
And go.
I like Finn. I don't like that he's always running, but I think he's got some good places to be.
Well,
the Asian lady, what's her name? Rose. Yeah, that was, I liked her character. It's refreshing, A, because she's Asian. B, she's a lady. I like seeing all the ladies in the movie.
This isn't a racial thing or a gender-based thing. The character is fucking stupid.
That's the question, and I'm answering it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of character development with her. She just came in, punched us in the face, and then was gone. But I don't understand with the whole plot. There wasn't a whole lot of a reason for her to be there.
Well, yeah, it was her sister was the one that was on the bomber that saved. Her sister was the one that dropped the bombs.
I know, baby. But I mean, her character, like, she knew a couple things, but that's not anything that someone else couldn't have figured out.
Am I the only one that thought it was kind of weird that she was so starstruck with Finn? Like, oh my God, you're Finn? There's like 30 people left in the Resistance, and all of a sudden she's like starstruck with like one guy that she's never seen him before?
How? Yes.
There's only like 30 people left in the Resistance at that point. And even at the beginning of the movie, maybe 200? And the guy's been sick for. What were you doing? I understand. Well, I'm always down here, but I don't know. I found that character to be just absolutely ridiculous.
All right, let's get off Finn. Okay, so my number 4, and I think you both will absolutely agree with me. Poe was absolutely, completely underused in this movie.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I had too.
Like, other than the very beginning of the movie when he does what he does, like, he literally gets put on the back burner the whole entire movie. And that really pissed me off because he's such a good character and he could do so much, but yet they put...
What do you think he could have done that would have been different?
I would have rather had him go in Finn's place to the casino planet. You know, like I would have liked this instead of locking Poe up on a ship, not doing anything except having turmoil with a commander. I'd rather have him out, you know, because he's an action guy. He's out there, you know, doing stuff, and for him to be tied up on the ship the whole entire movie, like that really bothered me.
Yeah, they're not developing that character properly. And you can go back to the Captain Phasma discussion. They're not. There's new characters that they're developing, but then there's like secondary characters that they're ignoring, and the secondary characters should have been developed more than the primary. I would rather know more about Poe than Finn.
Or let's develop a huge character and then kill him off like that.
Yeah,
and that's like what they did with Snoke. That's what they did with Phasma.
Well, and actually bringing up the Snoke thing, that pissed me off.
Okay, Nikki, any comments about Poe?
I like Poe in the movies, but I think that their goal of having the casino part, their attempt to make it funny, Poe would have killed that. Finn and Rose worked with that, though, that humor that you guys hate because you're dead inside.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not a comedy movie. It's not, you know, Strange Brew.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is maybe that's why they didn't take him, just because they wanted the movie, to Josh's point, to be more Disney.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would like to see more Finn, though. I like that guy.
I didn't mind him in the first movie, but now you have this constant pattern that they've done in 2 movies of, I got to get out of here. I'm going to escape. I want to run. And it's, you can't sell me on a hero that wants to run. I understand that like Han Solo did that in the original, and then came back, but at no other point in those movies was he really running.
Did he only do it one time in the whole trilogy, though?
I feel like that was the only time he really did it. And the beginning of the second movie, yeah, he was packing up to go, but that was a continuation of him originally leaving the first time, and then he stuck around because he knew Luke needed him, and he stuck around. And he wasn't trying to escape outside of that. I mean, he bought in, and I was expecting Finn to buy in. If Finn was going to buy in, who knows? I don't know, and we'll see what the next movie brings. But if Finn buys in, then that's fine. But if Finn does this, like, I'm going to get out of here, like I got to run bullshit, then it's stupid. Even if the motive is that he's going to run so he can save Rey, I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't like the way it's being put together. And you had mentioned this, so I'll just bring it up so I can cross this off. How the hell do you kill off Snoke that easy?
Yeah, if he's so smart, like just think like the Emperor. Like it was the same. The whole thing was set up just like the scene at the end of Return of the Jedi with the Emperor. Luke's lightsaber was sitting next to the Emperor. I mean, it was exactly a duplicate of Return of the Jedi. But
and you knew it was going to come because Ben is looking at Ben's not going to kill Kylo Ren's not going to kill Rey. They're not going to kill this character off. And so as he's talking, he's like, "Motherfuck, they're going to kill Snoke off already." So who's the next enemy in the next movie?
What's
that?
Kylo Ren?
Yeah, Kylo Ren. I mean, Ben, he's going to be the bad guy.
But that movie ultimately is going to end up with resolution where Ben turns back to the light side and Ben and Rey live happily ever after, brother, sister.
I want to throw something in right here. I think I saw on the interwebs people talking about, was it Gray Jedi? Something like that, in between the dark and the light. And this was months ago, and as I watched the movie, I wondered if the director was kind of moving in that direction where the Gray Jedi, I think that's what it was called, was kind of a mix between both the good and the evil, the dark and the light.
Well, is that what they're insinuating when they're constantly saying that they're going to bring balance to the Force, that there won't be a dark and a light, that there'll just be two people hypothetically in the middle ground?
Maybe. I don't read a lot about that, particularly when the movies are coming out. I try to go in as clean as I can. So
I see that.
Might be, maybe what their goal was. But as I watched the movie, that Gray Jedi, and I'm sorry if that's not the right word,
I think it's right.
Over in my head.
No, and ultimately, if they get to that point where everyone kind of gets, a lot of my opinion on this movie is going to really depend on what happens in the third. All right, Scott, what's up?
Now, this will be a number 2, I'm pretty sure, well, at least with Joshua, of the most annoying points of the whole entire movie, but the stupid casino planet. Like,
oh my God, that was my number 1 dumbest thing ever.
Like, you could have omitted that whole entire bullshit of the whole entire movie, and like the movie would have flowed so much better to me. Like, it did not need to be in there.
Like the little midget throwing coins into BB-8. Come on.
That's stupid. But I realized that the whole entire point of that middle part of the movie, which really killed the movie for me, was a setup for some sort of future spinoff movie with Rose and possibly Finn and those stupid little brat kids.
Oh yes, the kids at the end.
Yeah. They got the little orphan Annie decoder pins.
Yeah, they're just stupid. Stupid.
Because what I have written on here is the casino was one of the dumbest, if not the most dumbest sets in the entire Star Wars universe. I fucking hated everything, and I love me some casinos. That was the dumbest set I have seen in a Star Wars.
Like in the whole Star Wars universe, who would go to a casino planet? Like,
yeah,
you're in the whole galaxy. Come on, really?
Yeah.
There's one planet that's a casino that everyone has to go to.
I think the whole point of that scene was setting up Benicio del Toro's character. I think that was the only purpose of that.
I think also they were showcasing where each of the two sides were getting money and weapons and vehicles. That's one thing I always wondered about. The rebellion is a secret. How are they funded? How do you get X-Wing if you are a secret organization? Like, where? What? I think that I'm glad that they touched on that even just a little bit, but I think that the casino thing, have you guys been to Vegas?
Yeah, I was there 3 times last year.
Josh lives there.
So, the excess that's going on there. And I think that was kind of a correlation, a way to highlight the money that's being kind of funneled through there by these wealthy people. Just like a visual kind of a thing.
And I totally, I agree 100% with you.
I agree with you too.
But I thought the way that they did it was horrible. When Benicio del Toro is on the ship and he's talking to Finn, and he's like going through the holograms. Well, he's going through I thought that was a great scene. And I'm like, oh man, that is a powerful scene. But you had 20, 25 minutes of setup where it was just so cheesy.
Horse animals.
So cheesy. The llama things.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
I bet you would. I bet you would.
Yeah. I want 5. Just to make you extra angry.
Target demographic.
All right.
So, but my next one was.
Wait, is it my turn? No, it's my turn because you did the casino. My next one is I thought the crazy Luke scenes were stupid. Like where he's trying to kill
flashback stuff.
The flashback stuff where he like has craziness in his eyes and he's going to kill Ben.
But that's not. But was it true or not true?
That's what I liked about it. That you got the good one, and you got the bad one, and
you got both sides of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like when you have like Luke with like crazy, like I think they legitimately changed him to like dark side eyes or whatever. They made him look fucking stupid and crazy. There's no way he would have killed his nephew. I mean, they went in there. Go ahead.
Rey doesn't know that. She doesn't know Luke Skywalker. She knows of his legend, but that's it. And for all the things that she's seen, anything's possible.
I don't know. I thought those were. I didn't like the scenes. You've set up Luke to be the hero of the entire story. I get that they're throwing you a curveball and whatever. It didn't feel right to me. Like I get that he was concerned, but at no point would he. And I guess they did offer his side where he's like, no, I went in there and I saw the dark in him,
and he was going to try to kill him, and then he changed his mind at the last second, but too late.
Yeah, I guess my point isn't that I hate the idea of the scene. I hate the way that it was put together. I think that there was a much, much better way where you could have said, look, I saw darkness in Ben And I think they should have made that scene a whole hell of a lot darker. And I don't know. I think they should have dwelled on that a little more. I don't know.
So Mace Windu should have been in it.
No.
I liked it because you saw, literally visually saw both sides of the story, and that's what I liked about it.
I just think it could have been done better.
I liked it because it was short, but it also, you understood the point. What would you have done differently if you were the director for that scene?
I think that I would have made that a longer scene. I think I would have built up more of the darkness in Kylo Ren, like where the fear came from, why Luke felt compelled to the point that he had to kill his nephew, or at least the sense was that there was this turmoil inside of Luke. It seemed like it was just thrown together. It was like this like 3-minute drop that they just threw in the middle of the movie. And for such an important thing like that, it just wasn't given the time that it needed to have.
I have a question, Nikki, and I don't know if you can answer this one, but if you go back to Force Awakens and, pardon me, you got Kylo Ren attacks the Jedi Temple, or quote unquote whatever happened as they're trying to unfold in this movie, where he appears with the Knights of Ren. Now, where does the Knights of Ren fall into this whole storyline in this movie? Because now we have Luke trying to kill Kylo Ren or Ben, and then he force throws Luke. He is gone, and then he wakes up and the temple's burned, this and that. Now, where does this fall in? Now, where do the Knights of Ren fall into this whole thing?
I don't know where they came from, where they started. What?
Yeah, address that.
Marco knows.
Oh, Marco, speak up.
Marco.
Well, he said after he had thought he was dead, he noticed that he went off with 20 of his apprentices and they slaughtered the rest. So there were 20 other students that went with him, went with Kylo, and the other ones they killed that didn't go with him.
So they would be the Knights of Ren?
They would be the Knights of Ren.
So is that what's coming in episode 3? Because if that's coming in episode 3, that takes a turn for the badass.
Well, because, what happened to these other 15 characters?
That might be what's coming in episode 9. Marco, by the way, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. Yeah, same thing Josh said.
I mean, if the next movie does highlight the Knights of Ren and stuff, that'd be pretty cool. So, all right, what do you have next?
Me? Why are Rey's parents nobodies?
They're not.
But okay, so as we discussed, is it just Ben is like fucking with her head?
I don't know that Ben knows. Do you think Ben's fucking with her head?
I do. I think that he's taking what he learned from Snoke and he's trying to apply it the way that he knows how.
To manipulate her?
What?
To manipulate her.
Manipulator.
Yeah.
Really, like pulling her in, I'm the only one that cares about you because you're important to me, but you're no one to everyone else. That's why your parents left you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely using that to try to win her over or whatever.
But he did ask her, do you remember who your parents were? And she said, yes, I do.
But
I don't understand why her parents are still a question, though.
I think they're building up. And see, here's the thing. I think they're terribly building up for the brother-sister thing. I mean, come on, let's face it. They're doing the...
do not believe it. At this point, I do not.
But they're following a lot of scripts from the original trilogy and the Darth Vader-Luke relationship. I just feel like that's where this is going. And look, the analogy is that Luke and Leia were constantly communicating throughout all these movies, and now we're supposed to believe that Kylo Ren and Rey are doing it just randomly because Snoke ordered it or Snoke made it happen. No, they have a connection. That connection is the fact that they're brother and sister. That's where I am with it.
I think that's a sound series, but I can't reconcile how they came to be. If Leia is Ben's mother, I feel like Leia would have said or done something more with Rey. I really don't think she would have just dumped her off
That's
on a
what
desert planet.
I absolutely agree with you.
He's got a British accent.
Yeah, and Rey has a British accent, and Leia doesn't. Neither did Han Solo.
But not in the movie, though. And so does Finn.
You're not born with an accent. You're raised into an accent.
Yeah, but who on Jakku had an English accent?
I don't know. I didn't do my research on Jakku.
That one dude.
Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah. 1.5 portions.
Mate. All right. Here's okay. Were you guys bothered by Maz Kanata? That scene made zero sense to me. Why Maz Kanata was a great character in Force Awakens, and all they have her as is a freaking hologram. It's like, go find the code breaker. She turned British. There's your answer. Yeah. But she's like, go find the code breaker. You got to find the code breaker, and she's like fighting a battle that nobody fucking knows anything about.
I gotta interject. I have a question. While I was watching that scene, I was trying to figure out where the camera was. Who was holding it? How was she being recorded?
Selfies.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was using both of her hands.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Hello. What are those things called?
Protocol droids.
No.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No. Jeez, what are they called?
Selfie sticks.
No, those things you fly with the things on them and the cameras.
Drones.
Drones.
A drone. I don't know. I thought that Maz Kanata was really an interesting and fascinating character. And the whole thing, like, where did she get Luke's saber?
Yeah.
That wasn't addressed.
Yes, she did bring up a lot of cool things in The Force Awakens that you would have wanted her to answer, that you think that she's going to bring to you, and then they bring her in as a stupid
hologram.
Yeah.
That's fighting something, and by
great.
the way,
another great point that I did not catch.
It just Maz Kanata should have been part of this, and there's answers that we needed to find out that we just didn't find out from her. Maybe they come in the third movie, and one of the things I've been telling people is I need to see the third movie before I truly pass judgment on this movie, because I want to see if there's things in this movie that maybe they're building up to, and I'm going to give them credit for it. But I don't know. Where do you stand on the Maz Kanata thing? Nikki?
I like seeing her again, but I agree with what you're saying. They either should have left her out or involved her more.
She has answers to an awful lot.
Yeah, she's like 800 years old.
And nothing was addressed in this movie. She has answers like, whose eyes? Whose eyes were you looking into? Finn's? Okay, you've seen Finn's eyes before. Where? Who the fuck is Finn?
How the heck did she get Luke's
How'd you get Luke's lightsaber?
Where was his hand? Was it still attached to it?
Because remember, they even said that's a story for a different time. Yeah. Apparently not the second movie.
Yeah, that was not a different time she was talking about.
Is it a prequel that you're doing? Is that the next? Is there going to be a Maz Kanata movie? Because I can't imagine that's going to be really good.
I'd watch it. I like that lady.
We'd watch anything that has Star Wars in it.
I don't know. I'm starting to get to the point where Disney's kind of like drowning me on this.
No, this is the first Disney-based Star Wars movie that I didn't like. Well, and I don't know that I'm still iffy on.
I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the Han Solo movie.
Oh, I am. I can't wait for the Han Solo movie. I actually
can't wait for your mom.
The one I want to see is the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. As long as they put Ewan McGregor in it, I'm all about that movie. I can't wait for that one. All right, what's your next one?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Apparently, you can fly a ship at light speed through another ship, and this is all something that's just been discovered in this movie.
The kamikaze mission.
Yeah. So why did they not have like light speed missiles?
Oh, that's good.
Like maybe you should write Lucasfilm and tell them that.
I mean, to me, it's like, why the fuck haven't they had light speed missiles? If apparently you can go into light speed in a ship and cut another one in half, why have there not been light speed missiles?
How about better than that? We had the Japanese used kamikaze pilots. You've got fucking droids. Put a droid on a ship and have it set to light speed and have it kamikaze itself through destroyers.
Yeah, I mean the biggest ship that the.
Can you guys think of any time in the Star Wars movies that a ship was in the same situation that one was in? Out of fuel, out of people, everyone bailed. I can't Because I thought about that too, and I was trying to remember, even a point of reference, when would that possibly have been done before? You know, like why, just exactly what you were saying. Why didn't they think of that before now? But I couldn't think of a time when it would have been a necessary thought.
How about in the original movie when they're in the trench, just crank that X-wing up to hyperspeed, and just go right into the hole. That's what she said.
Absolutely true. But think about, now we'll even go to a side movie, Rogue One. Now talk about when they're going through the gate, and why couldn't they have taken a ship at light speed into the gate to get onto, what was the planet's name again? At the very end of the movie. Well, but even though I did appreciate the way they,
I loved Rogue One, by the way.
But I do appreciate the way that they used that one starship to push the one Star Destroyer into the other, which caused it to crash into the gate. That was really cool. So, I mean, I take that. That's awesome. But why all of a sudden do they just discover that they can shoot a starship at light speed through another starship?
Hey, how about earlier in this movie? You have bombers. Put them in light speed. It's full of bombs. Just go right at that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have taken that damn.
That's a great idea. I love that.
I don't know. I agree with that. That's a little rough.
That really bothered me. Like that's really how you take that ship out, like all along. Like you could have solved this issue like 15 minutes into the fucking movie, and we wouldn't have to sit there for another 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we could have had another good storyline to all this. Rather
than all those bombers go down and be useless.
I still like that though.
I like the bomber scene was good. I actually liked where Rose's sister was there and she hit I thought that was a cool scene, and then she ultimately dropped the bombs. I like that. All right.
But I have one good point about that light speed ship. Laura Dern
died. Yes, you're correct. Yeah. Oh,
she was gone after that. Yeah.
She what?
She died. She was gone after that.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. This is going to start as a yes or no. Yes or no. Have any of you guys ever heard or read anything about Han Solo's dice?
That was a mystery to me.
Agreed.
So Han Solo's dice are so profound. We have never heard anything about them, but they're so profound that they mean a lot to Luke. And not only does he take them off the Millennium Falcon, he gives them to Leia. I never even saw that he had fuzzy dice in his, had metallic fuzzy dice in his Millennium Falcon.
And I laughed too as soon as when Luke walks into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and he grabs those. I thought it was a joke.
I did too. I'm like, what the fuck? Han had fuzzy dice in the Millennium Falcon. Does he have a hula girl somewhere? That seemed like a huge part of the movie that they made this big stink about. And I didn't even fucking know at any point in time those things existed.
Very true. Nicole?
I'm Googling it because I was curious too, and I'm so glad that you guys asked because I didn't know and I had forgotten. I haven't had a lot of sleep since the movie, so I'm sorry. But I was Googling it just now, and apparently the dice were there when he won the ship. He didn't put them there. He just left them there.
From Lando?
That's what Google tells me.
Yeah, but okay, Google can tell you that. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not symbolic of Han Solo. I don't know. That became this big sentimental, emotional attachment in the movie, and I have no emotional attachment to it whatsoever.
You can't just throw it in and be like, look, it's heartfelt.
Well, there's got to be give Princess Leia Chewbacca then.
Yeah. All right. So we're running out of time here. So
yeah, I've got I have two left.
Okay, you go first. 3, but one of my biggest beefs is, and we don't really need to discuss this too much, but R2-D2 was in the movie for 3.2 seconds, and R2-D2 is awesome, but then C-3PO is in the movie for way too much. C-3PO just bothers me all the time. Yeah. Why couldn't R2-D2 have played more of a major character in this movie? I mean, he did with his interaction with Luke and the hologram and stuff. He did make the big change in the movie, but that's it. That's all he was utilized in the movie.
I am so sick and tired of C-3PO. I want him to blow up, and I don't get enough R2-D2. You know what this skit needs? More R2-D2. Meow.
When I wake up in the morning and other people put their R2-D2s on.
This movie needs more cowbell. Meow.
Can you?
My next one is that I am so I'm so sick and tired of Kylo Ren's character becoming stupider as the movies go on.
Wait, the audio sounds funny right now.
How about this? It's probably
you guys sound weird.
Is this better?
More better? Gooder?
It's the same.
Now I feel like I'm doing a vision test at the
camera
the
1, camera 2. You're
better, good. Are you there?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
I don't want you to have all of this and then not be able to use part of it. So I wanted to let
we
you
can
know
hear
that
you perfectly fine.
As long as you sound good, we're fine.
Okay, good.
Because we're directly into the recorder, so we sound good the whole entire time. It's just whether or not a connection with you. Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right. So my point was that Kylo Ren's character is getting dumber, and for that matter, the entire leadership of the Empire are fucking stupid in this movie. Like literally stupid. Like falling for every look, my thumb is coming off trick that the Resistance has. They're getting dumber, and it's annoying. These are the people that are supposedly running the galaxy, and they are literally, in some instances, retarded.
No, I can agree with that. I think Kylo Ren is like, he's so all over the place and so like emotionally distressed. Like, how is this guy even capable of? I mean, now that he is the supreme leader, since Snoke is gone, I mean, he's taken over his position. He's the guy in charge. Like,
and he's dumb. He's impulsive.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go.
No, you can't.
Do you remember? Okay. Do you remember Anakin? Everyone hated him as a bratty teacher. And George Lucas said, that's how teenagers act, and he's right. So think about Kylo Ren. He has all that hate and that desire to make a impact, be somebody. He's absolutely blinded with the anger, with the hate, with all of those negative things. So of course he's not making rational decisions. He's completely self-centered. That's all he sees is.
But we're supposed to believe that this is the guy that's leading. Well, I mean, I guess there's a Trump analogy there somewhere.
And time out. If he's so hell bent, why is he so on the fence?
Yeah, that's where Rey comes in, and where I was talking about the gray Jedi. Because I wondered that same thing. He's absolutely blind to everything. And then the people following him, as in a military, they follow orders and they do what they're told. Period. But with Rey, and when Snoke bridged the two of them, I think there was more. We saw what we saw, but there was more, I think, that happened. And I think that, I don't know, he might be lying to her. Maybe he isn't completely turned. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. Obviously, again, you go back to what I was saying earlier. You got to see where this thing goes in the third one. But
okay, now we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to give my last one. Do you have your last one?
I got one more.
Okay,
mine's not very good.
Do your last one. We got to get this going.
Okay. Do you want me to do mine now?
Yeah.
They didn't believably explain much in this movie. Like, I don't believe what Kylo Ren said about Rey's parents. They didn't give us any resolution whatsoever to where the lightsaber came from, the whole Maz Kanata thing. Nothing that they said.
The lightsaber is broke now.
Yeah, and nothing that they said really, like, as an explanation for Force Awakens. They didn't build on Force Awakens to me. It just was a movie. That's my opinion of it. That's my last one.
Nicole, your thoughts?
I have a lot of big thoughts about this. I think that the mouse knows how to make money.
For sure. But that was one of my earlier thoughts. Fucking Disney.
Yeah. And I think that this movie's a catalyst for the mouse to make more money. It could be research. It could be spin-off movies of these new characters. You have a whole new generation of people that are getting into Star Wars. Our kiddos.
I will never go see a Finn and Rose movie. I just won't.
And that's don't give the mouse your money. That's okay. But that's what I'm thinking. I think that Disney is trying to branch out, and I think I like the movie overall. I loved it. I want to go see it again, and it did not answer any questions at all. You're right.
Yeah, that was that, and that's just the one of the last ones I wrote down. If I didn't put these in order though, I mean, it didn't really bother me that much, but at the same time, in retrospect, it does bother me that none of the questions were answered. They really, as a second movie in a trilogy, it really didn't take me where I wanted to go.
Okay, my last beef is all stemming around Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Snack Bar?
Yeah, Snack Bar. The motherfucker falls for traps all the time, and this time he lost it.
Yeah. It's not a trap.
But it was.
But it was a trap. This is a trap. Okay, it's a trap.
It is a trap.
Then don't go.
Every fucking Akbar equals trap.
But he's dead now, so.
I know, so.
Is Disney trying to kill everything that we know about Star Wars and rebrand it? Call it Star Wars, but make it completely different, do you think?
Apparently, because they're killing everyone that we like off.
But the characters are, I mean, Akbar could have gone on forever, who cares? But like Luke, Leia, Han Solo, you can't keep bringing them back into movies.
No, you can't.
So you got to kill the characters.
Go back to the earlier in the conversation when we were talking about when did Luke become a Joker? You see what I'm saying? Is Disney making these slight changes to the character? Maybe we'll lose interest. Maybe they want to go a different path with them. I'm not talking about like our opinion of, or even if they value our opinion of the movies that they make, but maybe that's what Disney as a railroad car wants to do.
But as Disney's the engine of the train.
But as a love-hate, if you're a fan sitting here talking for an hour and a half or whatever it's been about the Star Wars movies, you can't help but be irritated that it's being taken over by the mouse. And it's like, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and do this and we're going to play with this. And it's not, this movie just wasn't true to the original trilogy. Rogue One was, Force Awakens was. This movie did not feel like a trilogy based movie. It just didn't have that feel to me. As a movie, it's good. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It didn't have the Star Wars feel.
Yeah, it's not. To me, it did not feel like a Star Wars movie at all. It had Star Wars characters in it, but that was
exactly. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I can definitely see what you mean.
But who knows? I mean, there's a third movie coming out, and I still have to. I'm going to watch it again another. Who am I kidding? 10 times.
I know, and I'll buy this and I'll watch it 50 times. Like.
And ultimately, chances are, if we do this podcast a month from now, we'll probably be like, so anyway, I was watching it again, and this scene was really good.
And that is exactly it. I don't even know what words I was using there, but that's exactly it. That
this is just gut reaction.
No, it's, it's that you saw, and I've felt this way about every Star Wars movie, at least since
you weren't high on Force Awakens.
I wasn't, but I do like it now. I wasn't.
Fantastic.
I mean, and I also wasn't a huge fan of Rogue One. But
that was good from day one.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that was good from day one for me. Both of those actually were good from day one.
I do love Rogue One now, so I learned my lesson. But it's you got to give it time. You got to watch it a few times, and
I think so. And you have to find some subtleties in it too.
And for the three of us, we've only seen this movie one time. So who's to say we could sit down like 3 weeks from now and be like, a completely different conversation.
Well, I will tell you this, on my Amazon, my cheater stick, I got about halfway through the movie and was actually enjoyed it more the second time through than I did the first time through. And
you catch a lot of stuff that you missed the first time?
It's not necessarily that I caught a lot, but like I think in the theater, I think I just sat there kind of like laid back and like just overwhelmed at everything that was going on. Like I thought the movie Yesterday when I left, I thought the movie was too chaotic. I thought, like people that asked me today, I'm like, it kind of reminded me of an episode of Family Guy, where you have the main storyline, and then it's like there's just too many things going on. There's like at one point like 4 different side stories going on, and it was just too overwhelming. And then this afternoon when I started looking at it again, and like I said, I only got about halfway through it, but a lot more things, I don't know, they slowed down a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see this. But again, some of the cheesy humor, the stupid character, that stuff didn't go away. But yeah, it was definitely, I saw it differently. So I'm sure, like after 3 or 4 times of watching it, I'm sure my opinion of it will probably change at least a little. But in my initial gut reaction, that's where I lie now.
All right, so we're going to just wrap this up, but Bald-Faced Josh, thank you for sitting down. This was great.
This was great. This was fun. Nikki, it was great to finally talk to you.
Same, guys.
Marco, have a good night.
Yes, Marco, have a good night. And I really wish we had and for people listening to this, I really wish we had a little bit better of a connection. Hopefully you can catch everything they're saying and talking about, but thank you guys so much for talking with us. This is something that we've been trying to work on for ever and ever and ever. And I'm glad that literally Nikki texted and she's like, we got a podcast about this now. So I so appreciate it. And luckily everything lined up that we were able to do it. So thank you very much for doing this tonight.
And I think Nikki and Marco need to come back more.
Or we have to go to them.
Ooh, let's live podcast in the Zona.
The Zona.
Uh-huh. In the Zona. Yeah, come on out.
All right. Have a good night, Nikki.
Thank
Bye,
you
Marco.
guys so much.
Have a good night.
All right, we'll talk to you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye.
And cut. I'm going to tell you this. Go see the movie. Make your own judgment. We're going to go see it again tomorrow, and I can't wait to see it again. I really need to process this movie. Like I said, I just had a very hard time with a lot of things in the movie, and so you might agree with some of them, you might disagree. So that's what we're all about. This is just my opinion, my thoughts. It's Josh's and Nikki's thoughts and opinions on the movie. Hopefully we got some good information out there to you. So please go subscribe to the Beardcaster podcast. You can find out more information at thebeardcaster.com. And I hope everyone has a great holiday, and we shall see you right before Christmas. So we'll talk to you later, and ciao.